Welcome to Elmwood Park, a small suburb of the northwest side of Chicago. Population 24,883 according to the 2010 census. Elmwood Park became a village in 1914 to avoid being annexed by the city of Chicago. It was named Elmwood Park because it was originally an actual park filled with actual elm trees. It is said that families would come to Elmwood Park to have picnics in the grove. But you won't see any elm trees here today because they all died out due to Dutch elm disease. According to Morton Arboretum's website, Dutch elm disease is caused by a fungus carried in beetles that spreads through the tree bark almost like cancer. In 1926, city developer John Mills designed and oversaw construction of the bungalow. The majority of Elmwood Park's houses are bungalows. They are not identical, but they each follow the same template, giving the village a neat, uniform look. My dad, Dan Patak, lifetime resident of Elmwood Park, tells me a little bit about the process of building a bungalow.
When they built the houses in Elmwood Park, they had like wood mills at the corners of all the blocks, and they would just cut the wood right then and there for when they were building the homes, which is why when we were redecorating, nothing is really standard because they cut it as you needed it. So if you needed something, however wide and tall, that's how much they cut it. So what our house has might not be what the house across the street has. They're all a little bit different because they cut them, they're all pre-made, or cut to order, I should say.
My family has lived in Elmwood Park on the north side of the train tracks for my whole life. Our house, built in 1968, is the one and only house I've ever lived in, as well as the one and only house my dad has ever lived in. We live in a bungalow about 2 blocks from the downtown Elmwood Park area, known as Conti Parkway, or as we all call it, the Circle. This aerial photo of the Circle was taken in 1946 by Roger Hammill. Originally, the middle of the Circle was a park area with a big fountain at the hub. Lee Loughnane, founding member of the rock band Chicago and native to Elmwood Park, was supposedly inspired by this park for Chicago's hit song Saturday in the Park. Today, the Circle is home to many of the restaurants and shops on the north side of the tracks, as well as the firehouse, the recreation center, the public pool, and our public library. It's also the site for our annual 4th of July parade.
4th of July was always really cool. They would set up this between like the light poles, between like the light poles, they would put like a rope with a barrel on it. And our fire station, and I think Franklin Park or River Grove's fire station, they used to battle with the hoses. Now, I mean, today's day and age, it's wasting water, so they don't do it anymore. But they would shoot water and try to make this barrel go across the rope. So it was really fun because, then you'd be sitting there and then you would get drenched because they're having a water fight.
Our public library is a special place for me personally. I've been going to the library since I was a kid, and as lame as it sounds, that's really the place to hang out when you're a middle schooler here. They have great programming and resources, as well as a lot of open space to sit and hang out or study and do homework with friends. As a teen, I have an amazing opportunity of serving on the library's Young Adult Council. This year, I was elected as a co-president of this council. Our job is to ensure that the programming remains relevant for kids and teens in the area, as well as raise money for local charities. According to their mission statement, the Elmwood Park Public Library will enhance the quality of life for the residents of the village of Elmwood Park by providing and promoting access to current, reliable resources that are informational, educational, recreational, and cultural through a variety of materials and programs for all ages. The inclusive atmosphere really embodies the sense of community here in Elmwood Park. I briefly interviewed public librarian Rose Cleary.
So I was wondering how long you've lived in Elmwood Park.
I have lived here 43 years.
And on which side of the tracks do you live?
On this side, the north side.
And what is the biggest change that's come to Elmwood Park since you've lived here?
Oh, the different ethnicities, different types of people that have moved here. The changes in our infrastructure, which is a good thing. That's about it.
And working at the library, you obviously see a lot of the people who live here in Elmwood Park. What would you say is just a few words to characterize our community?
Oh, it's a wonderful community. Everyone's very friendly and outgoing, and there's a sense of pride and a hometown feel.
Miss Cleary spoke briefly of Elmwood Park's ethnic background. It is made up of 84.8% white Americans who are mainly of either Italian or Polish descent. It is 23% Hispanic, 2.3% Asian, 1.9% African American, 0.3% Native American, 0.02% Islander, and 10.6% other ethnicities. The average household size is 2.55 people, and the average family size is 3.2 people. The median age for residents is 39 years old. The median income for a household in the village is approximately $47,000, and the median income for a family is approximately $58,000. About 3.6% of families and 5.6% of the total population are below the poverty line. Elmwood Park is very much a middle-class society. In addition to the independently owned shops and restaurants like Seth Sweet's Bakery, Ray's Mini Video, and Bachmi's Italian Restaurant, we have typical chain restaurants like Dunkin' Donuts, and we got our first McDonald's just last year.
Elmwood Park is a nice place, and it's getting better.
Says 9-year resident Connor Pillman, referring to Elmwood Park's crime rate and urbanization. However, from listening to my dad, it seems to me that the biggest changes to our community environment simply occurred due to modernization.
And the neighborhood was different, there wasn't, there's more cars now, so I mean, there wasn't as much traffic back then.
And this street used to be two ways.
The street used to be two-way, and it was actually used to be narrower now than it is currently. But what we would, as kids, we'd get up on Saturday morning, and we'd go play baseball right here on the corner of our, right there on the corner of our block on Sunset.
On the intersection?
Right there between Crescent and Sunset, and it was perfect. There's right in the center is a sewer cover, manhole cover. That was the pitching mound, So it's shaped like a diamond if you look at it. So it was perfect. So we used to play baseball. A couple windows got broken now and again, but that's you don't see kids doing that anymore, playing baseball on the corner streets. I mean, cars will run them over. To me, it always seemed like Elmwood Park, its residents looked out for each other, and really kept each other safe by looking out for one another. I don't see that as much anymore. I don't see us as tight of a community as we used to be. I mean, I know that it wants to be, but, times have changed.
Despite its many flaws, modernization, and urbanization, Elmwood Park celebrated its 100th anniversary in 2014, and I am proud to say that I was around for 18 of those years. Thank you.